They both stared through the same window, waiting for flights that kept getting delayed. A storm had rolled in, turning the sky a bruised purple and grounding every plane at the airport. At Gate 14, amidst the groans and frustrated phone calls, two strangers found a quiet corner by the expanse of glass, watching the rain lash against the tarmac. His name was Leo, and he was supposed to be halfway to Denver for a work conference. Her name was Clara, and she was heading home to Seattle after visiting family. Neither of them were where they wanted to be, but as the hours ticked by, a strange sort of comfort settled in. It started with a shared sigh, then a small, knowing smile. "Looks like we're not going anywhere soon," Leo said, his voice a low rumble that cut through the airport chaos. Clara turned, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "I think you might be right. I've already finished my book and eaten all my snacks." He chuckled. "I'm on my third terrible airport coffee. I think my heart is beating in Morse code." She laughed, a bright, clear sound that made him forget about the storm for a moment. And just like that, the invisible wall between strangers dissolved. They talked. At first, it was about the usual things. Where they were going, what they did for a living. Leo was an architect, obsessed with lines and light. Clara was a musician, a violinist who could make her instrument sing with stories. But as the delays stretched from 1 hour to the next, their conversation deepened. They talked about their dreams. Leo described a house he wanted to build one day, a place with huge windows that would let the morning sun pour in. Clara spoke of a piece she was composing, inspired by the sound of the ocean, a melody that was both powerful and gentle. They found they both loved old black and white movies, the taste of honey in their tea, and the feeling of walking through a city just as it's waking up. The airport around them became a blur. The announcements about canceled flights faded into white noise. Their little corner by the window at Gate 14 transformed into its own world, an island in a sea of travel chaos. They didn't even notice when the crowd started to thin out. An airline agent finally walked over, her expression apologetic. "Everything's canceled until morning. Folks, we've got vouchers for hotels." The bubble popped. Reality, with its inconvenient storms and rescheduled plans, came rushing back in. They looked at each other, a flicker of disappointment passing between them. "Well," Clara said softly, "I guess this is it." Leo nodded, a strange ache in his chest. He couldn't just let her walk away. It felt to Blairon like closing a book in the middle of the best chapter. "Wait," he said, his voice more urgent than he intended. "My hotel is just across the way. They have a decent restaurant. We could get some real food instead of more airport coffee." He held his breath. Clara looked at him, a slow smile spreading across her face. "I think," she said, her eyes sparkling, "that's the best idea I've heard all day." As they walked out of the terminal together, leaving Gate 14 behind, the rain had softened to a gentle drizzle. The bruised sky was clearing, and a few stars were beginning to peek through the clouds. They didn't know where this detour would lead. They didn't know if they would see each other again after the sun came up. But for tonight, under the glow of the airport lights, two strangers who had been grounded by a storm were about to take flight in a completely different way. And it all started with a delayed flight, a shared window, and the simple courage to say hello. Sometimes the most beautiful destinations are the ones we never planned on visiting. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.